Hi, good afternoon. My name is Prisca Chidinma. I'm here today with my friend Ifi Dorati Okeke Okise, and then Jessica Emmanuel Okeke. I mean,
Emmanuel, yes.
yeah.
Okay.
So, I mean, they are my friend. These are like a friend that turned into sisters. So today we are here to just talk about motherhood, and then your career. How do you do it join, going back to work after having kids? Like, is it hard? How do you, deal with all the guilt and everything and the challenges that comes along with it?
All right, so today, the topic today is career and motherhood, just like Esther said, career and motherhood. I'm a fairly new mom. My sister, I would say, is a seasoned mom.
But my first daughter, it's about 10
10 years.
So I've been a mom for about 10 years.
Yeah, I would call that seasoned. So we're pretty much here to share our ideas on motherhood, what would we have done differently, things we've learned over the past 10 years, maybe me 3 years.
Nowhere.
And in the past year and a half.
A year and a half, yeah. So
the first question we have here is, how do you do it all? Really, I need to know, how do you do it all? Do you want to start first?
I guess really the first thing that just came to mind when you posed that question is, to be honest, I don't do it all. Like, I cannot do it all. With having a full-time job that is pretty demanding, and my job is kind of unique in that a bulk of the things I do, I can work from home, which is a plus. But what happens is it's very easy for me to, when I really should have my laptop closed and tucked away, I'll continue working because I've been home all day, and I kind of just let sometimes I can tend to let the work stuff trigger into dinner time and things like that. So back to the question, to be honest, I can't say that I do it all, but rather what I do is prioritize. And I find that depending on what's going on, depending on the season I'm in, kind of everything else that is going on, it'll help me kind of prioritize. For instance, now my kids are 10 years old. My first is 10, CJ is almost 7, Oge just turned 4. I have to say, they have finally gotten to that age where they can tend to do a good number of things themselves. Like, my 10-year-old, for the most part, can actually help Oge get ready in the morning. Like this morning, I had her sweep the kitchen. I had them clean their rooms this morning. So the first thing is recognizing kind of where everybody is. And I say that to say, for now, I don't have any help at home, and I think I can juggle it. Because also the other thing is, I want them to be able to do more themselves. Because sometimes also when you have, having help, trust me, it's awesome. It keeps you sane. Yes, it keeps you sane, which is everything. But sometimes it could be easy for the kids to end up not doing that much, and you don't want that. So where I am at that place now, where really my priority is, making sure that they all have what they need in terms of the housework. I really can only do my best. I have them chime in for when they can. Like right now, they do laundry with my husband. They know that's what they're supposed to do. Saturday mornings, they pull down the stuff, they sort it, and they get it done. When I can have someone come in and clean up the house. But so like if you walk into my house right now, you're not gonna find everything perfect, and that's what I mean by I can get it done. But I prioritize. This morning I felt like making meat pie. I made meat pie. We're gonna visit some friends today. I made them some food because for me that's priority right now. And I did all of that. I'm like, okay, because I knew I was coming here for 2 o'clock. What can I get done? Are there other things that could be done in the house right now that are not done? Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. But at the end of the day, I just kind of, prioritize trying to figure out what's most important and making sure that I give time to little things. Like I can't give all my time just to house chores. I'll go crazy personally. And I can't give all my time to maybe just things like my hobbies, for instance. Then it wouldn't be fair to the kids. Then the kids will, will have that lack there. So making sure that I devote, obviously devoting time to my husband too. So you have to kind of divvy it all up. For me, that's what keeps me kind of sane. I don't know if I rambled a little too much. I felt that I was a little all over the place. But essentially, no, I really nowhere close to getting it all, doing it all, but rather, doing my best to prioritize, figuring out what's most important. And it's also very important that you're mindful as to, when I talk about what's going on and kind of the different seasons and ages, like as your kids are getting older, their needs changes. Yeah, their needs changes. So recognizing at whatever age that they are right now, what do you need to pay most attention to for that particular child? In a year or two, that might change. So really just working together with your spouse, tapping into the resources that you have around you as best you can, and just taking it one day at a time. It does go by fast. I can't believe my oldest is 10. Felt like I just came home from the hospital with her, but she's 10 years old, so it does go by fast, and you just take it one day at a time and do the best you can. Stop. So
that's wonderful. That's I honestly, like I said, she's a seasoned mom. So we're learning. I'm learning too. Honestly. How do you do it all? I really need to know. Like my sister just, as a seasoned mom, gave a lot of insights. I just wanted to point out a few things. I've only been a mom for maybe two and a half years now. For me, I agree with you. I don't even attempt to do it all. I always remind myself to manage my expectations. I don't need to compare myself to anybody else. If other moms are partying, maybe they have that leisure to do that. If they can go on vacations, if they can maybe work out, and I can't find the time to do it, I can ask them or try to learn from them, but I'm not comparing myself to anybody. My situation is totally unique to me, and what I try to do is try to assess the situation and try to find ways to make it better, right? I finally decided in my head that I cannot survive without a nanny. I have it right now. We're making it work. I don't know how, but I know that someday we'll probably get to a point where I'll say, you know what, maybe it doesn't make sense to have a nanny anymore. And in terms of, again, setting goals for myself, this is the life I wanted, right? So no matter how difficult it gets, I remind myself that I wanted to be a mom. I didn't just become a mom. I wanted to be a mom. This is something I've always looked up to. So even as the challenges come, I take it gracefully, right? Take it gracefully. It's something that every woman should aspire to attain, and I'm happy to be a mom. It gets difficult. Yes, some days I want to scream. I will not lie, but you just have to, again, it's all about perspective, manage your expectations. And then also, again, about trying not to compare yourself. There are goals that I had 5 years ago that I had to put in the back burner. I wanted to pursue my CFA. Now I'm like, you know what, it's okay, CFA. It's okay if I don't get my CFA, maybe later. And I'm totally fine with that. Sometimes I look at myself and I'm like, if I didn't have kids, would I be where I am right now? It would be nice to be there, but you know what? I wouldn't trade having my kids for any other experience. I am grateful, I'm thankful to God to even still have a career. Some people actually just stop their career and decide to stay home to take care of their kids. I'm thankful that I'm able to balance both, right? To pursue my career. I may not be as ambitious as I used to be, but I also have to make time for my family as well. And it's totally okay. Some days I come home and there's no food. It's okay to order food order that food, have dinner, and go to bed. I don't try to make sure that there's food all the time or feel bad that I don't have food. If it means taking the whole kids to my parents' house to have dinner, we'll do it. Seriously, if it means getting, you have to do what you have to do. If it means getting dinner from someone else or whatever really makes it keep going. Don't try to go crazy. Again, remember that this is the life you wanted. If you're in it, embrace it 100%. And also remember that this is just a season, like my sister said. This season will come and pass. You don't want to regret not enjoying or embracing the season, right? Enjoy it. These kids will, I know that someday I'll be wishing that they're running around, that they're not off to college, and I'm like home alone. Now they're 100% attached to me and my husband, and we're going to make the best of it and really enjoy it. And like my sister also said, work as a team with your husband. Have everyone. There's nothing like, okay,
or any support you have.
Any support you have, right? There's nothing like, oh, it's a woman's job. No. If he has to cook while I watch the kids, when the nanny's not around, he'll cook. If he has to do the laundry while I do give the kids a bath, there's no help, we just figure it out, you know. And that's all pretty much all I have to say.
Yeah, I mean, both of you have said it. I mean, it's like, I like the part that you say, you don't have to compare yourself to any woman. Like, you raise your kids the best way that you know how to, I mean, and then pray and leave the rest to God. Because we can only do just mud, but it's actually God that is one that is protecting and guiding them, ordering their footsteps. So you do the one that you can do as a human being, as a mother. Because the way I see this motherhood is like, the way I understand it is like, you're just a caretaker of them here on earth.
Right.
You understand? But they belong to God.
Absolutely, that's true.
You know, so it just whatever decision you're going to make about their life, you still have to go back and check with Him. You know, so you do that one that you know how to do, and then leave the rest to God. So you don't like force things on your children and be like, you know what, I'm your mother, I brought you into this world and I have the right to take you out. You have to abide by my rules. No. You're just, I mean, God gave you an assignment. That's why I understand this motherhood or fatherhood or whatever it is. It's an assignment. And try your best to at least to get like maybe like B or A, B plus or A. You understand?
Right.
So don't mislead your children because you brought them into this world. Then you have the right over them to do like, you know, what you have to do. And as a mother, you can only do what you can. Because when you stress yourself out, your child is going to suffer it. You know, and also like we all work. I mean, at least go to work from 9 or 8 to 5 or 6. Try to be home with your kids. Find out how their day went. If they have, you know, what happened. You know, if they have homework, try to help them out. You know, they probably sometimes they do have questions. So if you're not around, who is going to answer the question? For them, how are you going to like direct them to go to the right path if you're not available? You know, it's okay to work because if you don't work in this country, the bills will continue coming. They don't care if you're working or not, the bills will be coming.
Right.
So you have to work. And also remember that you also have another full-time job at home. And that's your kids and your husband or whosoever, you know. So you can't do it all. You just can't. But you can only try.
That's right.
I wanted to chime in. Is there another question around work?
Yeah, she actually just led into the next
Okay.
question, which was how do you deal with the working mom guilt? And she started.
Yeah, I remember like after I had my daughter, it took me like 10, 11 months to get back to work. And I remember after I dropped her off, she was crying. But I have to go. Because if I don't go, I won't be able to provide for her. I remember I got into my car like, oh my God, I was crying too. Like my whole day was a hot mess. You know, I couldn't like, oh, like she needs me, like that this look that she gave me, like, why are you abandoning me? Like that kills my spirit. I was like, oh my God, like why did I even bring this girl into this world for her to go through this emotional pain? Oh, my heart was broken, but I had to do what I have to do. It was not easy, but if you don't do it, nobody else is going to do it for you. It hurts. It hurt, but you will get over it. Like right now, she's okay with the woman that is babysitting her. Even so, sometimes I just drop her off and be like, "Oh, bye bye, mom." She just look at me like, I'm just stunned. And then sometimes it broke my heart. I'm like, "Oh, she don't even care about me anymore." Like,
No, don't think about it.
like honestly, like, oh, she don't care. She's getting used to this woman. She even calls her mommy.
Wow.
What is okay? I wanted the woman. I wanted the second mother for her.
Right.
You know, because the place I used to take her before, it was during the winter time. I went to pick her up. Like I did not call the lady, but when I knocked on the door, I could hear my daughter crying inside. So when I got in, my daughter was inside the room, and she closed the door on her, only her. My dear, I had like I took some time off. I was home for like about 2 weeks. Before I was able to find another person, like this woman that is babysitting her now for me, it's hard. It's the guilt. It takes divine intervention
Right.
for you to get over it.
That's true.
Because I would just go to work, like my coworker would just like say something that is really nothing. I would just snap because my heart is like I'm going through pain, like me leaving my daughter. Like she doesn't deserve it, but you gotta do what you gotta do. Unfortunately, we live in a country where like you have bills to pay every month, unlike Nigeria. So yeah, that's actually, and pray for the grace of God, because if you don't have the grace, you won't be able to do it.
Did you have a lot of mom guilt?
Yeah, I know.
I did, but it wasn't. I tried as much as possible to minimize the mom guilt, right? Like you, I was home for a while too. I was home for about 6 months. But before I went back to work, I found a nanny, and I was home with the nanny for about 2 to 3 weeks to sort of help
So it helped with the transition.
Yes, it really helped with the transition because number one, I was there to see her get comfortable with the nanny, right? That was number one. I was there to sort of train the nanny, see how she's doing things and correct some things. That way I don't have to be at work freaking out if she's doing the right thing. And another thing is also, the guilt comes, but I have their pictures all over my phone, I have their pictures on my desk. I remind myself every day, this hustle is to give them a good life. If I stay home, that is going to minimize the kind of life I'm going to give them, right? My husband and I sort of need that income to give them a good care, a good support system. So every day, I know some days I'm like, you know what, I wish I was a stay-home mom, but then if I'm home, I wouldn't be able to afford certain things for them. So when the guilt comes, I remind myself, I look at their pictures and I say, this is the reason behind my hustle. Seriously, they are the motivation behind it all. And then also, again, how to deal with guilt while you're at work or you're working long hours. Figure out what works for you. If having maybe a camera at home works, if you're the kind of person that's going to go crazy looking at the camera all the time, I probably would say don't have one. But for me, I find that maybe having a way to check on them really helps, right? If I know that there's some days that I work pretty long hours, I can at least call in. They see my face and they hear my voice. It sort of helps. It doesn't feel like I'm away from home for like 10 hours, 8 hours, because I can talk to them, I can do FaceTime, they can hear my voice. If that works for you, for some people it may even make the anxiety worse, right? So figure out what works for you. If it's having a camera calling in, a FaceTime, and then again for new moms, prepare yourself like before you even have that child. Sort of work out your finances so that you can stay home as long as possible with them. If you're going to do a daycare or have a nanny, try to fit in that transition time before. I know it, I was home and I was still paying, but then that's a sacrifice, right? You're paying money like what for someone to watch a kid while you're home, but in my mind, I felt like that would give me the ease that I needed. That would eliminate the anxiety, the guilt, and then again, like I said, I'm doing it all for them. They're the reason behind my hustle, pretty much.
Yeah, that's. I was just trying to think. Did I have mom guilt? I don't think I had it that much. I don't think I had it. Maybe it's been so long that I've forgotten, but I think I remember. When I had Amara, I was a bedside nurse at the time, working 12-hour shifts. I would only work 3 days a week, so you can say, okay, 4 days, I'll be home with her. But one thing, I think what helped was, I think between you two, I'm the one that went right back to work. I think for all my kids, I think for the most part, I would go back after the 3 months. Really, I don't remember being like 6 months with them, but I didn't have that luxury because we needed to have the income coming in. But I think one of the things that made it not so bad, one was I've been so blessed and lucky to have had like a really babysitting or either a babysitter or nanny that I was very comfortable with. Because trust me, even when I have to travel for work or anything like that, the only thing that will give me angst or anxiety if I know that they're not in good hands. As long as I know that my children are in good hands, I tend not to worry too much about them. I would, I'll call in, check in on them, but just knowing that they're in good hands almost always helped with my angst. And I think I remember one very early when I went back to work after Amara, one of the older nurses on the unit, I remember maybe my first day back or my second day back, she said to me, I know you're worried about your child, yeah, she's so smart right now, but trust me, she needs this money more than she needs you right now. It's funny, somehow I remember that. She was actually a Filipino nurse. Right. She was a Filipino nurse. She's like, I know you're going to tell me that you miss her. You miss her and all that. But trust me, right now, your baby needs the money that you're making right now even more than you. Because you have your days off anyway, right? So you're going to spend time with her. But trust me, your baby needs this money that you're earning. So maybe that really somehow pay me the motivation. Yeah, somehow went into me and it was able to, again, as long as, I think the only, looking back at kind of their care, there was one time where Amara was in a place that I did not like. I did not have peace about it. And I remember picking her up one day, and it was for thankfully a short period of time that she was in that place. I remember picking her up that day and I cried driving home because, and I remember talking to Casey about it, and I'm like, I wish she doesn't have to be here. And it was really finances that made us put her there at that time. And one thing I want to say, I know that sometimes, you can have a baby and maybe you're still in school and God somehow has a way to figure everything out. But trust me, having children comes with financial responsibilities, and ideally you want to be at a place where you can truly afford the things that can help you take care of your child and give you peace of mind. Money doesn't, the one thing I like about money is that it affords you peace of mind sometimes. And again, I remember, when I picked her up from that place, driving home that day, I think about a week or two later, we pulled her from there, and we were able to make alternate arrangements. So that was the one time I remember feeling bad because I knew that for whatever, for other reasons, I just didn't feel that environment was the best for her. But it has not happened up and a lot actually for all my 3 kids, and again, for the most part, I would have peace of mind about kind of wherever they would be, whether it be at a babysitter's house or nanny at home or things like that, and that really and that really helps. And what I try to do for them, like when I'm away, I try to, have people that they have fun with watch them. Because if when I do that, a lot of times they won't forget about me, which I don't mind while I'm gone. Like when I have little cousins or people like teenage, like they love when teenagers watch them because they can do fun stuff, play on their games, like they can go outside, read to them. So like try to, when you're away, try to, if you can, make it a little fun, especially as they get older. But if it's a baby just needs kind of a different. And again, back to as your children grow, you're gonna see that their needs will change, and you'll be tweaking kind of what you have to do for them based on what their needs are. The one thing I want to say about work also and being a mom is a lot of times I see people not grow in their career because they're a mom. Or not aspire to kind of the career ladder because they're a mom, and I mean for me sometimes I still tend to do that, but I remind myself all the time that somehow you can juggle both, but at least with caution. I mean, there are things I know that right now I don't want to step into because of the age of my children, but just a few years ago, like the kind of rule I have now, I used to say, oh no, I can't do it because of my children, because I have kids, but it's not necessarily the case. I want to say that even though you may not climb up at the same pace, but don't say no to different opportunities. Don't say no to, kind of doing different things just because you're a mom. Because most times when there's a will, there is a way. As long as it's still something that will not take away your time with them, just because you're doing a different role when you're at work, doesn't mean that, okay, just because you're a mom, you can't, you cannot do that. But obviously, if it's a new position that will take you away all the time and you're gone like weeks at a time and you have little kids, maybe that may not work for you, or maybe for some people it may work. But I was watching something one day on TV, and I remember the lady in Sound of Music, I forget her name, but you guys know her. She's very, very old now.
Mm-hmm.
They were interviewing her. I think it was a few years, some anniversary for Sound of Music, right? She was definitely much older. So the guy that was interviewing her said to her, "Oh, so yeah, because they shot the movie in Austria, and you guys know it's a beautiful, beautiful country with like mountain tops and whatever." So he said to her, "So did you, while you were over there, I'm sure you must have enjoyed that surroundings and all blah blah blah." She said, "No, she didn't even enjoy anything." She said when she shot that movie, she had just had a child. She had just had a baby. She said she traveled with her baby, obviously with some help. So like she would be with her, she would go to, the, wherever they call it, to cast the movie during the day. Her daughter would be with the help that she came with, and as soon as they get off, she would run home to be with her child. So she didn't have time to look at the country, go sightseeing, any of that. And truly, what I got from that was, that woman, imagine if she said no to that opportunity for Sound of Music. She made it work for her. She made it work. She took a nanny there. The nanny, watched, her daughter while she, did her thing during the day. After her day, she would go right, straight to where they were and spend the rest of the evening or the night. Imagine if she had said no to the opportunity because she just had a little. So it's about just thinking: is there a way for me to do this? Really, if you know that you especially if your work gives you satisfaction. I mean, for the most part. Most of us, our jobs is not really just for the money. A lot of us also work because we just cannot stay home. You know what I mean? It helps keeps us sane. But honestly, every now and then I remember that, and it's a reminder to me that, okay, Jessica, as you're working and all of that, and don't just say no to different experiences or different opportunities just because you're a mom. If you have a good support around you, if there are things the way you can try out different experiences, try out different things, but still be able to figure out what to do at home.
All right, the next question is, what is your favorite part of being a mom? That's a very good question. My favorite part of being a mom is having something else to think about or someone else to take care of other than myself. So prior to being a mom, it was just me and myself, what I wanted for myself. But there's this joy that comes with knowing that that some other being depends on you, right? So the best part of me is like knowing that everything that I'm doing has a purpose, right? My job has a purpose, right? The things I've given up, there's a reason behind it. The favorite part of being a mom is coming home to kids that love me, coming home, like it doesn't matter, the minute I walk in here, it doesn't matter how bad my day was. The minute I see them, it seems like nothing else matters. I think that there's a sort of joy and satisfaction that comes from being a mom, right? There are things that I used to stress over or worry so much about before I had babies. Now, I just tell myself I have better things to take care of, and they're my kids, honestly. So I couldn't have it any other way. They say, but I'm not there yet. It's also good to have kids so that when you're older, you have someone to take care of you.
Yeah.
So I guess that's a benefit, but I'm not seeing it now because I'm the one doing the caretaking. I take care of them, but I enjoy it. Like, just spending time with them, like it's something I've always wanted actually. I love kids, and then having kids that are my own is like the most wonderful thing. So I think that's the best part of being a mom to me.
Yeah, mine is, I remember when I did the poster for this show, so I want to pick it up, then I want to pick my daughter up. So she saw it at the back of the seat. She just looked at it. My mommy, that's my mommy, like that mommy? Like she don't even call me mommy, she call me my mommy.
Right.
You know, I was like, okay, I mean, yeah, now I'm your mommy. You understand? Like, as if she's fighting with somebody, she's trying to let everybody know, this is my mother, this is mine.
Right.
You know, I'm not sharing her.
Right.
She's mine. Like, she just look at that picture. Whenever she's crying and you just get inside the car, she just look at that picture. My mommy. Like that joy that comes with that. And I'm not waking up in the morning, she waking up in the morning with this kiss and just like hug. Mommy? My mommy.
Right.
Like, oh my God. Like, that's my best part of being a mother. Like sometimes, like where I work, I mean, looking at all these kids, it's not that I'm too special or that my daughter is too special. But when you work in an environment where you see these children with one sickness or another that can't do anything for themselves, I mean, appreciate whatever it is that God, you know, is giving to you. Like sometimes I just get off work, I'll just run. I'm driving. You see me on highway, I just want to get home and just pick up my daughter and just give her a hug. So yeah, I remember when I had my daughter, I went to the mall, picked some sweaters and stuff like that. But I ended up not buying anything for myself. I remember when I got home, my sister-in-law was like, "Oh, so what did you buy for yourself?" I was like, "Nothing." Like, I want everything. In fact, I wanted to take the whole mall home just for her.
Right.
You know? So that's the best part. I felt like it's okay for me to just like give her the best or whatever it is that I didn't have growing up. I want her to have it.
That's right.
You know? So that's the best part. It's only a selfish woman, a selfish person that will just go to the mall and just shop for herself and then forget her child. Like me, I don't even shop for myself. I don't remember when I went, just like decided, let me just go to the mall for shopping, and I end up buying stuff for myself. I end up spending my whole month on her.
Right.
You know, because my mom did that for me. You know, so being like, that's my best part of being a mother. Over to you, Professor.
Okay, I mean, I won't say too much on this, but being a mom, I don't even know how to describe it. You know, it's everything. You know, and it's almost you're in partnership with God, like you were saying before, like seeing how God has made each and every one of them unique, and recognizing that, and like I'm still till tomorrow, I'm in awe how Amara is so different from Oge. Like Oge is her own personality. She loves fashion. She's a social butterfly. She's this. So sometimes she can be very stoic and all that. Not really, Amara on the other hand, such a soft heart, and not so into all this girly stuff, and really being able to partake of all of that. Like, I am your mom. I'm the person who is closest to all of this. I'm the one who is seeing the wonder of God's handiwork and being displayed again on each and every one of them. And one thing I ask, and I keep asking, is God for every single day to give me what I need to be the best mom to them. And because the really good thing about it is that God has given me everything I need. Like, if I didn't have what it takes to raise them, God would have put them in someone else's family. So He has already equipped me with everything I need to help them grow and mature, me and my husband. So it's up to us to make sure that we always find out from God, and I lean on Him for strength. And then, working it out, once you believe it in your heart and you start to walk in it, you see it all displayed. So really, I would say I have to stop now. But my favorite part is really seeing the handiwork of God at God's hand, God's very creative hand at work in the lives of 3 different individuals, and being so close to that, and almost being a partner in that, and walking alongside with God to help them become who they were created to be. That's pretty priceless. And obviously the love is like who am I to deserve all the love from the 3 children? It's pretty precious, really precious.
Awesome.
So we can move on to the next question. Wanted to do.
The next question is number 7. It says, have you ever had to bring your kids to work, and why? I guess I can go first. I've had to on a few occasions. I guess we didn't talk about this earlier, but another challenge that comes with having kids is actually having a stable care for them. I've only been a mom for 2.5 years, and I've gone through maybe 8 nannies.
Sure it's not 12.
I know, right? So that's the challenge that,
Yeah, it
so
can be a source of stress.
Yes.
Yeah, it's funny. I think that would have been a good topic.
A good topic to talk about.
It's
not too late.
You're laughing. I guess you know too. You know. Do you know why? Because I just flashed back. One time I broke down, like in tears, in a doctor's office. Why? Because I was stressing out about childcare. Yeah,
Right.
it can be pretty nerve-wracking, especially here in America, where our resources are so limited.
Yes.
And a lot of the things that if you want to have access to kind of more stability, a lot of times it means chucking out a significant amount of money. And
yes.
sometimes these are like rent and mortgages,
Right,
just
right.
don't have.
Right.
But yeah.
I think we should dedicate. I've actually told myself that I should write a book sometime, someday.
Okay.
But yes, that's a huge challenge. I really think that's a huge challenge. The few times that I had to take Kamsi and Chisom to work was because my nanny went home for the weekend and never came back.
What's nice, I think yours is different because you didn't take
Take
them
them
to your
to,
cubicle.
it was a backup.
You have backup care in your building, which is rare.
Yeah.
I know, right?
Right.
So your backup care
was
is physically in your building.
It's across the street.
Across the street.
Yeah.
So
Even at that, it's still.
I want to have access to that. I mean, I know Casey could from his job, but I don't know that you can do it. Just show up on that morning of. You need, I think, at least a 24-hour notice with his job. With my job, there's nothing like that. So it's not.
You need 24-hour notice too, but I went crazy. I don't know how I did it, and I was able to drop them off that morning. And they were crying and crying, and they kept calling me. I couldn't work that day because Kamsi was crying. She's like, "Why would you bring me here?" And I was literally running back and forth. I'll go in and then Ugo had to leave work early to pick them up early. And then the other time, they kept on calling me that Chisom was sick, that she didn't want. I got there, gave her a hug, and she was fine. So it's really a challenge. It's really a challenge when a nanny bails out on you or something's happened with the care. I think that's a really big challenge. But the few times that I had to take them to work, to the backup care, was because I didn't have anybody else.
The one thing I do want to say though about the stability of having that child care is, like, for me it was a huge stressor. It used to be, and this was maybe when Amara was maybe around 6 months or something like that. But something happened around that time that I was able to completely trust God. Because and Ify, I know that you agree with me on this, because sometimes you wake up in the morning and the plans that you made the day before, like, there's nobody, like, people just
They want to do
yeah, you know. So honestly, and I think that happened to not as the frequency wasn't close to yours, but even the one time it happened to me, I just couldn't make sense of it, because you've made all these plans based on having this, and all of a sudden, just like that, it poops. But after that experience, it was just once. Somehow, God helping me, I was able to get to the place where I'm like, God, I'm trusting you completely with this child's care. So I got to the place where, like, if I'm going to work the next day and for some reason it's 7 p.m. and I still didn't have tight plans, I would have peace that passes like all understanding. I'm like, God, you will never let me, as in you will figure out a way. And I thank God I got there, because the breakdown that was happening all over the place, that one time when it happened, I'm like, I cannot, I mean, you know. And so it's really, what the key thing I want to point out is, everyone get into that place where you completely trust God to come through for you. Remember that it was God that brought this child into this world. He knows your circumstances. He knows your situation. Trust me, God started to bring help from places that I didn't even know were possibilities. And that's why we say, like, don't put your trust in man. You know, it's like, you know, let's say you want money and you know you have a rich uncle, right? And you're thinking your money, your help is gonna come from I mean, you guys know that sometimes in life it's not that your rich uncle, right? That will give you that. It's someone that you least expect. Your help will come from places where that's why till tomorrow. So a lot of things I don't worry about. I'm like, I have to, like, God, you have to come through. Because if you don't come through. Yeah, so the one time where I took Amara actually to work was, I think when she started kindergarten, they had a half day, I didn't have plans, but it was at that point, at least I had like a private office. So I left her in the office for a little bit and I rounded to go see patients, and I came back. And so she sat there while I completed my documentation. I think that's the only time. But with the kind of work I do now, I can't really
Exactly. You can't take care of children to that. I know, like, I was offered, just in case if you're running late and if your babysitter disappoints you, it's okay to bring her. But to me, I'm looking at it, no, I don't want my daughter in that environment. Like, I'd rather just call off. And then even if it means me losing my job, I don't care. Because, yeah, like, I can't take her there. No, I don't want her there. So, yeah.
All right, so we're gonna wrap it up. This has been so interesting. We'll probably have a sequel, right, to this. So the last question is, what advice do you have for high-achieving working women who are desperately seeking for balance? Do you want to go first?
Yeah.
Sure, I'll go first. Seeking for balance. First thing I'll say is to just make
so we're gonna wrap it up with this last question, and it says, what advice do you have for high-achieving working women who are desperately seeking for balance?
A lot of the things I want to say, kind of, we've already, stated already. I want to, the first thing truly you have to do is to really go to God in prayer to find out, because like my sister is different from me, and same with her. Like what God wants me to do in where I work is different from what He wants you to do. Like it's all different. It's all different, and depending on what year it is, it will be different. So it's important that okay, for now, what is it that I need to devote my time to? You need to get clarity on that. Because then once you get clarity on that, then you and God still now figure out how to now create this balance. Okay. So yeah, we're talking about how to achieve balance. How to achieve balance. So first, I wanted to say was to get clarity as to what you're supposed to do. To get clarity from your God, get that clarity. Because if you don't have that clarity, you can tend to, arrange your life based on other people. Follow, comparing yourself. Okay, this person is doing this, I have to do this. Or this person is doing that, I have to do this. When we chase after things that are not ours, it's the scripture that says we can do all things through Christ who strengthens us. I strongly believe that's when you do the one He has called you to do. If you go and carry something that you're not supposed to do, and then you're expecting to have sanity to be able to still juggle everything, it's gonna be like almost impossible. Like you're gonna push yourself to, like you will go crazy. So first, making sure you get clarity as to what you're supposed to do. Once you get that, then God will also help you. Okay, what support around me can I lean into? How can I make this work? Sometimes it could mean getting a nanny. Sometimes it could mean getting someone who can just come maybe a couple times a month to help clean up the house. It could mean daycare. It could mean preschool. It could mean different things. But once you get that clarity, then you tap into the resources that are around you and get comfortable with. One of the best advices I got, I think it was Antonia told me years ago, before I even started having children, she's like, just get ready to be able to spend money on childcare. You have to wrap your head around making that expense. Yes, you have to wrap your head around making that expense because it buys you peace of mind. You're able to be a better mother to your children. You're able to be a better wife to your children, to your husband. You have more time to even cater to like your own hobbies, and things that keeps you sane and keeps you happy. So really, seeking that balance is first of all making sure that you recognize your lane, stay in your lane, climb up your own ladder. Don't climb up anybody else's ladder. When you start climbing up other people's ladder, that's when it becomes almost impossible. You may have the looks like everything is okay, but tomorrow people will hear different. You just break down. So making sure you get clarity about your path and doing your best to follow it, trusting God. It is God that takes us from one level of glory to another level of glory. He's the one that equips us. He's given us everything that we need for this life, but we have to work in tandem with Him. Not making our own plans and just saying, God, okay, well, carry it out. Carry it out, so to say. So I think for me, I think those are the two biggest tips I would have.
Yeah, I think you said, climbing your own ladder, be who you are.
Yeah.
Just be real to yourself, and keep away from this Facebook thing, because a lot of people have made a lot of mistakes by what they see on Facebook. I can just come on Facebook and just what I put that you believe. You don't know what I'm going through at home.
Right.
Like there's a lot of fake people on Facebook. So if you could just limit whatsoever you copy from Facebook, then you'll be able to have a happy home, and then be the good mother that God created you to be, and then you leave the rest to God. But you have to be yourself. Don't be another person. You start having issues when you're trying to copy another person's life. We are unique in different ways. God created you to be you. This is Jessica, Ify, and I'm Chidinma. So I can only be me. I can't be her, and she cannot be me. So we have different faces. It's not as much as both of them look alike.
It's still different, right?
But if you look well, you can. I mean, you can tell the difference. Yeah, but we can only be ourselves.
We produce
Stop
the
copying.
best things when we're ourselves.
Right.
You know, like one analogy I give sometimes is like, sorry to use this example. Imagine a blender. I say this sometimes. A blender wanting to be fire. Like let's say you're making moi moi, right? You need the blender to blend that beans,
I don't know.
and you need the fire to cook it.
Right.
Imagine the blender trying to be fire trying to be blend.
Impossible.
As in, when you do their own part, do you know that blender will blend it so smoothly.
Exactly.
That fire will bring up that steam, and by the end of the day, you'll be enjoying your delicious moi moi. But if they switch roles, if they switch roles, nobody will be eating delicious. So we produce the best things. Like we truly reflect God's glory when we are authentic with ourselves, and we are truly, like you said, you're real to yourself, and you're who really God created you to be.
And finally, they said it all. But all I really want to say is, like, one of my favorite scriptures is that the steps of a good mother is ordered. Let God order your steps. And even before you become a mom, you know the promises that you have your covenant with God. You know the things the vision that God gave you. You know the things that you want to do. I know that thing I struggled at first was being a mom. I felt like I couldn't serve in church. Like I had to put everything in the back burner. The early stages is okay to do that. But once you get your balance, your child is a year, remember those promises that you made to God. Don't say you can't serve again. I kept on delaying. I was like, who is going to take care of my child if I'm going to sing in the choir or if I wanted to serve, If you wanted to teach Sunday school, who's going to do it? I couldn't figure it out. But the minute I said yes, God figured out the remaining of it. So don't try to figure it out. Remember the promises that God made to you, the promises that you made to God. Don't figure out the equation. Just say yes, and God will make every single part of it work out. And even when you don't know, it's okay to take a foot forward, right? Take a footstep forward and say, God, if this step that I'm taking is not of you, close that door.
Exactly.
If you just like Jessica said, don't say no to challenges or progression in your career or whatever. But when you're taking that progression and the door closes, just know that, you know what, God is not the time. I just finally transitioned to a new job, but I started when Chisom was a month old. I was looking for a job and I was trying to go to New York, and every door was closing. And now that I look back, God was saying, you know what, it's not time. I don't want you to be in another state, when you have a baby at home. And how he did it all, and you know what I mean? Now I look back, I'm like, you know what? Just say yes, take the step. If it's not the will of God, he will close the door. If it is his will, he will order your footsteps, all right? Thank you all.
Thank you.
This has been fun. Thank you so much.
From Yummy Mommy.
Yes.
Keeping it yummy. Whatever that means.